Good morning, everyone. Could somebody give me a sound check, please, so we don't have a replay of what happened yesterday, where I spoke for like a good minute straight without the microphone being on? That would be super duper. Still getting my Windows set up over here, and while I'm doing that, quick little admin note to Jeff Batenham. Jeff Batenham. Listen, bro, nobody needs to know your opinion on everything, by the way. And you know, snarky is snarky, but rude is rude. So step off. Step off. I think I'm actually going to timestamp this and send it to and tag Jeff in a post so he understands that, maybe read the screen while it's saying something across it, kind of like that down there where it says what time things are starting and how you can watch the replay. And you could actually fast forward. I actually go back and find the spot in the video where I start speaking so that you don't have to watch the 10-minute crowd build that allows me to set things up to make things as right as possible for you. So maybe take a step back, bro. Just maybe take a step back. All right, let's see here. I'm going to need to turn that banner off because I do not need it anymore. And we're going to push that. Boom. There we go. There we go. Looks like everything is on. Everything is functional. What do we got? I see 1 5x5 from Tuck. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, bro. I'm seeing Bob's rolling in here. I'm still setting up. I've got to get the chat set up on the Rumble side. It looks like there's a few people in there. And I'm going to pop that chat right out. Once again, I'm a one-man band playing this game, getting things set up, and I have 10 minutes to do it on 3 different platforms every morning before I even start talking. It's pretty crazy stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick this off. Let's see. Oh, wait. One more thing. I want to thank Todd. I'm not going to say his last name because I don't know exactly who he is, but Todd, thank you for joining the Patreon. He joined it on the free side, guys. If you guys didn't know that, there's a free part you can join for free on the Patreon. And then if you like what's happening, you can stick around. And if not, then see you later, and I do free content on Patreon as well, but I only do it on Fridays. So let's see. Once again, welcome again, Todd. Hopefully we'll get you deeper, take you deeper down the rabbit hole. All right, let's see here. West Virginia Pappy on the Rumble. West Virginia Pappy first. Where we got here? Andy Pearson, number 2. And then you guys are just like clamoring on here. And there's no turd. There's no turd. Where's the turd? I need my Rumble turd. Okay, let's go. And over on the comments side on the YouTubes, let's see here. Rosie was first. Jordan is number 2. Cool Colt, you are the turd. Yes, Cool Colt, you are the turd. He says, no, not the turd. Oh, let's see here. We got Bradley Collins, Deanna, Jordan's here. Tuck is in the house. Let's see, Bob Pita. And that's it. That's all the chats I got. Man, you guys need to check the hell in. You need to get right with Jesus or something, man. Current score is 15-12. Rumble is in the lead. On the YouTube side, the poll for this morning is, what is the most important aspect of mental and emotional resilience in prepping? Current answers are stress management techniques at 50% of the votes. You have positive mindset, which is 12%. You have set and achieving survival goals, 25%, and survival psychology, 12%. And we're going to talk about some of that later on here in the live stream. Today is a little bit of show and tell because there's some things that people have been asking to see that I'm going to be bringing out while we actually talk about a few things. Let's see here. Let's see. Tuck. What are you saying? Jeff was the same guy who was crying about how Pinball did his giveaway last night. Really? Wow. I did not know that. Sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you, Tuck. I appreciate you relaying that intelligence information to me, Broseph. So you guys know I don't really watch a lot of other prepper channels. I stopped doing it because I found what I was doing is just regurgitating the things that they were doing. I wasn't doing my own thing. And I've also stopped talking about, news related to preparedness because there's a ton of channels out there that say they're prepper channels. And I was doing this too. I am at fault. I am not a hypocrite. but anymore anyway. But you know, I just got tired of it's like regurgitating the news every day, and it's just all click here and panic that, and just the craziest, just dumb stuff, dumb stuff. And it's like it's not even preparedness related. It's not giving back. It's not teaching anything to anybody. It's not lecturing, relaying information. It's not helping anybody. All it's doing is stoking the fires of ridiculousness. So I stopped doing it. And now, if you guys have noticed, that's what I do now. Let's see here. Let's see. Tuck says, I don't know what you guys are talking about. When you guys talk to each other in chat, I think it's cool, but it really messes me up. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to we're going to go ahead and get started because we definitely don't want to upset Jeff's delicate sensibilities. Oh, by the way, hey, one more admin note. James, if you know who I'm talking to, James, if you know I'm talking to you, bro, listen, man, if you don't want to come to Prep Stock, that is your business. If you don't like me, that is your business. But don't think for a second that you're going to be sending nasty little emails to people and me not see it. So maybe it's time to sack up, bro. Maybe I'll see you next year. All right, let's go. Survival skills. Basically, what I've got this down, we're working on that magical number 10 again, guys. As usual, you guys know how this works. I talk about a section, you talk about your stuff, we talk about your stuff, and then we move on. Also, if you not hit that thumbs up button, now is the time to do it. It does help the channel. Okay, very first thing, fire starting techniques. Oh man, I forgot to grab it. I forgot. You know what? Hold on. I talk about this company all the time, not selling their stuff, but they are sponsors, and we're going to get into it. So, fire starting techniques. Good morning, Deborah. Good to see you. Good to see you. Using natural materials, including and utilizing tinder and kindling from the environment, such as dry leaves, grass, and small twigs. Fire starting tools. Knowledge of various tools like flint and steel, magnesium fire starters, waterproof matches, and lighters. Practicing with commercial fire starting material that I'm going to show you some here in a second that I stand by. Fire building, constructing different types of fires such as teepee, log cabin, and Dakota fire hole for various purposes like cooking, warmth, and signaling, because a lot of people don't know that sometimes if you build a fire a certain way, it will actually if you can build fires to make coals quickly, you can build fires that will burn very hot to boil water, and knowing the type of fire to use to do that really does help. So one of the things that I was just talking about here was actually using commercial fire starting material. Now, skills are skills, but you know, we live in the age of technology where things are very simple, very simple. I just took this out of my bug out bag. This is one of the things that I keep in my fire kit right here. I'm not sure how well, you know what, let's try this. Burp. We're going to burp. There we go. This is one of my basic fire starting kits. This is 2 lighters, a rubber band, a sterno, or it's not a sterno. What is that called? That's called an Etsy cube, and some of my classic fireballs. Those things will last forever. I can throw this bag in anything and it will go forever. Now, with that said, one of the companies that I've talked to you guys about before is ProTech Camp. And ProTech Camp is actually a sponsor. One of the things that I have is this fire roll. Wish the light was a little bit better, but maybe there we go. I can do it like that. This fire roll, this tin, and inside this tin is this roll of tape that you can pull out the center of it, rip it off, and now you have this piece of fire tinder that you can use. No, you don't burn the whole thing up. That would be stupid. They've got this tin. I really like the tin. It's a little bit heavier than what I normally like to do, but this fire tin is actually pretty cool. You've got they look like earplugs. They look like earplugs, but they are not. You break these guys up, you rip them up, show the fibers, and there's 45 inside of this. 45 campfires to start with these suckers. This one's actually marked for 44 because I did a video on them. What we got here? This is neat stuff right here. This is impregnated wood, and it's a powder. It's like wood shavings, but it's got some stuff inside of it that helps it ignite very quickly. This is super light and works almost all the time. You could just pour this stuff into stuff. Truth Speak Dad. Damn, what happened, man? Did you lose your YouTube profile or something? Truth Speak Dad, what's going on with that? And then my favorite is the Fast Fire Stick. Okay. This entire thing is flammable. And all you do is you can literally just like cut like a coin sized, like stacking 4/4 size piece off of here, and then hit it with a spark, and it'll light up and it'll stay lit for minutes. This stuff is amazing. You don't have to, you can push it out if you want to, but you do not have to do that. All you have to do is just cut it, and it's waterproof too, guys. It's waterproof. So knowing some modern fire starting items is actually very, very important as far as techniques go. Now, Laser, you are deterred. Welcome to the channel. Let's see here. Jordan says, I compress dryer lint into toilet roll and dip the ends in crayon wax. Yes, that's absolutely incredibly smart. Incredibly smart. Now, here's what I will tell you. Jordan, a little tip. Cardboard absorbs moisture. Lint that is in the dryer is normally moist when it comes out. So hopefully you're drying your lint out before you're putting them in these paper towel rolls. Also, why not just dip the whole thing? Why not just dip the whole thing? Then all you'd have to do is just rip it open and light it. There's a thought. There's a thought. That $65. Let's see here. Dryer lint. Dryer lint is me. I got you, Tuck Feet. Yeah, I used to make all of those things. I really used to make all of those things, and they really do work. They really work. You know, you have to do a few things with them to get them right, to make them so that when you store them, everything's going to work right. But they do work. They do work. They're solid plan, and they're 99% of the time they're free. It's absolutely free. You've already purchased these items. I mean, you carried the lint around for days, and now it's in your dryer. The toilet paper roll you already bought, you know, and the toilet paper rolls are actually, some of them are, the ones that are white are actually already slightly impregnated with something that is non-porous and makes them slightly waterproof. But the brown ones are definitely flat out not water resistant or moisture resistant. So let's see here. Let's see. Dryer. Let's see. Dryer lint reeks, so I use cotton. I got you. But like I said, you could just dry the lint out, because like I said, dryer lint, it's got lots of things. It's got a human hair in it. It's got just all sorts of stuff in it other than the lint from your clothes, you know. So it's and if you've ever lit it when it comes right out of the dryer, it will almost not light. You have to literally dry it out a little bit. Let's see here. Andy says sawdust and paraffin in a fiber egg crate. Sawdust and paraffin in a fiber egg crate. Sounds like you could probably make something like that. I mean, obviously this has got some chemicals inside of it, but it's essentially the same thing. And it's not sawdust. This is like felt is what this looks like. But I love this stuff. This stuff is the bomb. It doesn't weigh squat, and it works every time. Okay, so looks like we've done our, or in an ice tray, sawdust and paraffin. Oh, I got you, in an ice tray. Yes, I've seen that too, Andy. I've seen that too. But you know, I mean, I always tell people, if it's for free, it is for me. So, but I have opted to start using some of the, I mean, for the money, guys. It's really, you know, I really believe these companies are unbelievable. And here's the funny thing: if you go buy this stuff, if you go buy these products with any other company, you're going to pay $5 more, guaranteed. This is the best fire starter I've ever used, and it's the cheapest, less expensive fire starter that I've ever used. So I forgot. Oh, you're over here now. That's right. These multiple cameras are really messing with me. Let's see here. Rose says cotton balls are okay, but the synthetic cotton balls combust. Yes, yes, that's true. But we want them to. That's why. Well, that's why you soak them in, or you fill them. You sop up that Vaseline oil to keep that from happening. I actually did experiments with fingernail polish remover, because that is the chemical in fingernail polish remover is extremely flammable. And I was trying to find a way to like be able to contain it so that when I opened it, that it would like poof, and then stay lit to something. The problem is because it's high or it's very low flash rate. It means it lights really easily. It will burn. It will basically melt. Not plastic, but just sitting in it. It needs to have some kind of container that it won't like degrade, and it will eat through wax. So it's really difficult to do. I actually did an experiment where I took the facial pads that women use to like clean their face and stuff, like with astringent. I took some of those and I soaked those pads inside that nail polish. And then I took them out and waxed them. So it's literally put 2 or 3 coats of wax on them to try to keep that in there. It works as far as lighting. You literally just break it open. But once you light it, it burns so hot and so fast that it would be good for like if you had other combustibles that were dry, ready to go, it would be a good thing. But when you talk about fire starters, you need something that's going to burn for a minute or two just to make sure that fire gets going. Otherwise, you're going to get a poof and then nothing's going to happen, Let's see here. True Speak Dad says, I'm using a pew pew and tannerite with some kerosene. Well, that'll start a fire. That's a fire. That'll definitely start a fire. Okay, we're going to move on to section 2. Current score is 21-19. Rumble is in the lead. The score or the current votes on YouTube. The question is, what is the most important aspect of mental and emotional resilience in prepping? And the answer is still stress management techniques at 47%. Everything is all the other answers are in the teens and 20. All right. So with that said, let's see. Fire Fast, West Virginia Pappy, Fire Fast makes a nice ferro rod. Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm a bit of a stingy guy on ferro rods. You got these companies out there that make a ferro rod, okay? And this ferro rod will like throw sparks hard, like 3,000 degrees. I mean, these things are just like if they hit your skin, they're going to burn. And they've got a handle on them. They got a lanyard. They don't want you to lose it, all that stuff, And you're going to pay like $20 for one of these things, at least $20 for one of these things. And for $10, I can buy 3 ferro rods that will do almost the same thing, but the thing is is the one that I'm using enough to start a fire, even if things are wet? Yes. So I'm a bit of a stickler with money when it comes to ferro rods. I love the demonstrations that they show when you go to the gun shows and stuff. But I'm not giving them that amount of money because there's no way it costs them, there's no way it costs them that amount of money or, the marked up price, whatever it may be to create those ferro rods, to source those ferro rods. Let's see here. True Speak Dad says, staying calm is the best way to manage a stressful situation. I agree. Rose says, I've taught burn tests to validate safe fabric in camp. Natural fibers best, but can see how dangerous our synthetic fibers are. Had a hospitalized patient go up in flames from cigarettes on nylon PJs. Yes, very true, very true. Ferro rods and magnesium bars come in various levels of quality. Very true, Chuck. Very true. Yeah, on the fire thing, Rose. Years ago, the Marine Corps, they were transitioning to some synthetic clothing for their armored crewmen, and they found out that it was not fireproof. So now all of the clothes that are both armored crewmen now, as well as infantrymen, the fabrics that they use to make the not the external uniforms, but like our internal things, like our long shirts, they are fire resistant. So yes, it is a real thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to shelter building. Going to take that sip of coffee. I need to get rid of that. There we go. All right, let's see here. Shelter building. Natural shelters using natural features like caves, overhangs, and tree structures for immediate protection. Improvised shelters. Building shelters from available materials such as debris huts, lean-tos, and A-frame shelters. Using branches, leaves, and tarps. Insulation and waterproofing. Techniques to insulate shelters from cold and waterproof them against rain and snow. And lastly, practice as much as possible and find out what works. Now, when we talk about things like finding out what works, it just, do the research. There's a ton of ways to make these different shelters. Do the research, watch the YouTube videos, read the books, take the courses, but in the end, do what works for you. And one of the things, to give you proof set of that, one of the things that I do is I don't use 550 cord anymore. I use either, I think it's like number 18 or can't remember the number on it, bank line. I also use what they call trout line. This is let me get that closer there. You can't, hold on a second. You can't see that. Hold on. You can pick this up at Walmart. You used to be able to buy this at Walmart for like $1.50. It's 50 feet of bank line. This is not 550 cord. This is half the size of 550 cord. I will use this for putting up tents, tying things down in a camp. You can actually see this during the day. You know what I'm saying? You're going to trip over it. It is more visible at night. It comes pre-rolled for you, so you don't even have to screw around with it. And this goes to what I was telling you. Find out what works for you, because what someone else does might be it, but it doesn't mean it is it. Do the work, do the practice, get out there, build some of these shelters. Find a place to do it. If anything, just learn how to put up a tarp shelter that's going to work for you. Maybe the next time you go camping, don't bring the tent, bring a tarp. Do something like that. Learn to set things up. I do hiking pole shelters where I always have at least one hiking pole that I can use. And, it works every time. The grommets, the points of a hiking pole fit perfectly into the grommets of a good tarp. So those are definitely some things that you want to be doing. So let's go ahead and go to the chat real quick here. Ian says number 16 or 36. I gotcha. And Big Prepper says, hey, Big, good to see you, bro. Catahoula, number 36, tarred bank line, number 1 pound. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 line, 1 pound spool, 472 feet, nylon, AA, twine. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yeah. So, and then Light Rider says number 36 braided. I actually got onto the tarred bank line by watching Corporal's Corner. He does this every week. He goes out every Sunday. He does midweek videos, but they're normally not on like survival type camping. He goes out every weekend. He sets up a survival camp, starts a fire, cooks some food, talks a little bit about the world. And then, hey, I'll see you next Sunday, that kind of thing, Andy Pearson says, learn knots. Absolutely. You should know at least 3 to 4 knots that you can actually use, locking knots, sliding knots, and hitch knots. So you definitely should be doing it. Silent Warrior. Well, good morning, my friend. Good morning, brother. All right, let's see. We're going to go ahead and check the poll. Actually, let's go ahead and check the races. The score is getting a little higher. Right now, it's Rumble 20. Oh, it just changed. It's even score, 20-20. Only the Almighty knows who will win. All right, so on the poll, it's once again, what is the most important aspect of mental and emotional resilience in prepping? Stress management is still in the lead at 47%. The others are in the teens now. Things are changing. We've got 17 votes. If you guys have not voted on this poll, please do so. Your voice matters. Let's see here. Positive mindset, 18%. Set and achieve survival goals, 18%. And survival psychology, 18%. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to section number 3. Oh, man, I didn't grab the guides. Damn it. Heroic Prepper, good morning, my friend. Good morning. Foraging for wild edibles. Unfortunately, they're not in this room, and I can't go get the guides that I wanted to show you. Identifying edible plants. Recognizing safe to eat wild plants, berries, nuts, and roots. Also, the other side of that coin is avoiding poisonous plants. Knowledge of toxic plants and how to distinguish them from their edible counterparts. That's right. Many plants look exactly the same, except for like one little detail that will kill you. Foraging tools. Tools and containers used for foraging, such as knives, baskets, and plant guides. Also, learn how to cook forage items. You know, some people don't know. For instance, there's a, I was watching, I think it was like season 10 of Alone, and there was one girl that was surviving primarily on, I want to say it's like deer grass or something like horned deer grass. If somebody knows, put it in the chat. It looks like antlers, like little clumps of antlers, and you have to boil it twice. If you boil it twice, it takes the bad taste right out of it and gets rid of all of the toxins that are inside of it. Once you've done that, they say it's kind of like eating cauliflower, like crunchy cauliflower. Let's see here. True Speak Dad says, does CBD edibles count? If that's what floats your boats, then yes. But yeah, and the other thing about foraging, guys, is a lot of people like foraging scares the hell out of me. I'll be honest with you. It's one skill that I would love to be much better at. But you know, my time is limited, and it's I don't even have time to shoot my guns the way I want to, you know, but it is what it is. Get the guides, get the ones that are local to your area. If you can find somebody in your area that is an expert in these things, have them take you someplace that is near your area and actually like find edibles, because they're going to show you, you know what I'm saying? Then also you can create your own references too. If you've got this person with you and they're like picking stuff up and saying, yeah, you can eat this. This is called this. You take a picture of it. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And now you actually know, and then you can take notes on it. You kind of like create your own little class, if for lack of better words. But let's see here. I don't know what that is, Truth Speak Dad. That's just I guess that's a boat on water. Got you. Rose says many identify apps available online. Yes, absolutely true. But I will caution people, because there are many plants out there that look very similar. For instance, a wild grapevine looks exactly like, with the exception of one distinct thing, looks exactly like poison ivy vine. So just be aware. Just be aware. That's all we can really do in the end anyway, right? Be aware and get to prepare. And float your boat. Got you, Broseph. I got you. Okay, so let's go to number 4, navigating without a GPS. You guys hear me harp on this all the time. This is a skill that many people don't do at all. Probably for the same reason they don't go out and find wild herbs and edibles and things like that. So navigate using a compass, understanding how to read a compass and use it alongside a map for navigation. Navigation or natural navigation, using the sun, stars, and natural landmarks to find your way. Dead reckoning, estimating your current position based on previously determined locations. Guys, I cannot emphasize enough, right out of my bug out bag. There's my compass. Let's see, there's my compass. That's the one I have. I don't have a fancy sun toe. I don't think it is anyway. I'm pretty sure I just bought this offline. It's solid. You know, let's switch cameras here real quick. Boop. It's a good compass. I have used this compass many times. No, there's no link in the description. I'm not selling compasses today. But literally, this is all you really need. It's just this little bitty compass. This one is a shit. What do we got here? Turn on spot is the name of this. It's got all the proper bars and graphs on it. There's no bubble inside my water bubble inside my compass. It's free floating. It chases north, and it is hyper reactive to metal. So it's a good little compass. It's a good little compass. I keep it with my writing devices, my pad and pen, and yeah, you guys should have one of these, and you should be going and trying to use it to familiarize yourself with it. It's very, 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 very important to have this. If you don't, you may never find north. You may never find north. But seriously, learn to do navigation without a GPS. It's really that easy. Our phones, these things have made us stupid. They truly have. And Rose, yes, Rose did comment, map, paper, compass. Let's see here. True Speak Dad says, I don't have that skill for navigation at all. Well, develop it. Develop it. Watch a YouTube video. Get on Amazon. Buy a dude. I bet you compasses are like super cheap right now on Amazon. You guys didn't know this. It's Amazon 2 days. Let's see here. Rose says, I have a map and multiple compasses. And Big Prepper says, if you want to get serious about navigation skills, some people have Pathfinder classes that will give you valuable survival skills in general. Yes, absolutely. The Pathfinder school, bro. It's probably the best in the nation, in my opinion. All the real stars are in the survival community are coming out of that school. Not a joke. West Virginia Pappy says, learn topography maps so you know hills and valleys. Yes, absolutely. You know, the thing about that is with West Virginia Pappy is that where you live, you know, you've got to know that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You've got to understand, you know, the hills and the valleys. You've got to understand all of that stuff. And so, but most people live where it's flat. And so those don't really do much finding a high spot. The highest spot on Camp Lejeune is 22 feet. And you can barely tell it because you're driving off a road that's already at 10 feet. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Tuck says, I've lived in the same county my entire life and still study local maps regularly. Yeah, because you never know what you're going to find, you know. You never know what you're going to find. Atlas of the World, Andy says, would be nice. There you go. True Speak Dad says, I drove up to New Jersey a while back and stopped at state visitor centers and got free maps from them. Yeah, absolutely. I do the same thing. I walk into the visitor center and I'm like, do you have maps? Oh, yes, thank you. And then I just walk out. I don't look around. They're just like, oh. Yeah, I do the same thing, man. It's awesome advice. Awesome advice. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of sip of coffee here, and we're going to move on to number 5. Number 5, finding water sources. You know what? Before we go on, I keep doing this every time. I constantly leave that on the table. You guys don't see the shirt. Well, there we go. Shirt of the day, caution, man working. Guys, there's a link in the description. If you want to go get it, that's where you'll find it. Maybe you want to get it for your husband. I don't know. Let's see here. What is that, Ian? What is that? What did you say? If I keep the sun to my back and it travels from my right hand to my left hand, most likely I'm facing north. Or you could just face the sun and do the exact opposite thing. Woohoo! Blew your mind. Okay, so water and sourcing, and welcome to the chat, Ian. I don't remember seeing you check in earlier. Let's see here. Water sourcing and purification. Find water sources. Identify natural water sources like rivers, streams, and lakes, and knowing where to look in the wild. Yes, sometimes you can find water in the weirdest places. Purification methods, techniques such as boiling, filtering, chemical treatments like iodine tablets, which are actually very hard to find now, and solar stills. Water storage, safe ways to store water to ensure it remains potable. Now, I've got a couple of different ways I do things. You know, basically with me, because water is always my number one prep. Water is, you know, what is it? What was I going to tell you? Water is my number one prep. my brain just like turned off. Yeah, you can't find iodine pills anymore, or tablets anymore. So one of the things that are, one is none, two is one. That's what I was trying to tell you. So one of the things that I keep with me are, man, this camera's, I got to move the light on this camera because it is just, I can't show you guys stuff. All right, so this is one of the kits that I will actually keep right here. These are made by Potable Aqua, and you have the actual purifier and the stabilizer inside of it. These things will last basically forever. These are my backups to my backups. You guys know that I do the water filter stuff. Recently, not a joke, wrol. Wrol sent us this. I'm going to buy one myself. This is the wrol. And these are actually recently back in stock. So guys, if you go to wrol.com, GRAYL, you will see these puppies right here. And you literally just walk up to any water source, and it's tight because it's new. I need to take the cap off. There's suction. All right. You fill that with water, and then you take this puppy and you push it into it, and it filters back up into here, and this keeps the clean water inside of it. Now, here's the thing. These things are not cheap. They're expensive, guys. They are expensive. But here's the thing. Every time you buy a pack of water straws or life straws, it's the same price as buying one of these filters. And all you do is replace the filter, and you're ready to go. It's that easy. So if you guys are interested, go to the link in the description for Prep Stock supporters. You'll find a link for the wrol. Go in there. I don't think I got a savings code for you. I probably need to talk to those guys about that. But this is the new magic. This is the new hotness, guys. And these things have been around for a long time. You can also buy nesting cups to boil water in. Oh, by the way. Yeah, you can buy nesting cups that actually fit on these things. I should have grabbed one for you because they did send us one. And then now you have this complete water system that can actually save your life. So I would definitely be looking into that. Let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says Walmart went from Sawyer to Life Straw. Yes. So Sawyer's always been a good brand, but the problem is what they did was they started making too many of their minis and their micros, and they just don't do the job. I mean, you got to be able to suck a golf ball through a garden hose to get some of the water through these things. It was insane. And once you started doing it, you know, you are clogging your filter up. You know, and you have to back flush the damn thing way too many times to use it. So you're literally using twice the amount of energy that you need to get water, which is why I really love that wrol. Ian says, where are we at here? I'm sorry. Tuck says, oh, we have water. Well, that's good. That's good. Let's see here. Bradley says, moving water tends to carry less bad bugs than standing water. Absolutely true. But I want the ability to get any kind of water. That's what I want. That's what I want. Ian says, I got 2 of those filters from Battle Box, 2 different sizes. Yes. Yeah, they do. You got to pay attention to the filters because this is the largest one. This is the EcoFlow. And I think it's EcoFlow. It's Eco something. Somebody put it in the chat. Matter of fact, let's wake up the chat, guys. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the chat. Let's go ahead and wake this algorithm up because our participation level is extremely low today. It's like I'm talking. It's like unless I make a thumbnail or a title that says the world is ending, only the smart people show up. If I do that, which I mean could be a good thing. Could be a good thing. But yeah, do me a favor, guys. Put the number 1 in the chat so we can get this party rolling a little bit more. We are doing pretty good so far, but I would love to see more people in here. Let's see here. So we talked about water. Let's go back to the we're still exactly the same. The votes have not changed at all. So we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to move on to number 6. Basic first aid. Wound care, cleaning, dressing, managing wounds to prevent infection. CPR and emergency procedures, performing CPR and handling choking, burns, fractures, and other medical emergencies. using a first aid kit, familiarity with the contents of a first aid kit, and their proper usage. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is reference the last video that I put out yesterday about the Rhino Rescue First Aid Kit. It looks tactical. It looks like it's going to save your life. It will not do that. It's literally exactly what they call it. It's a first aid kit. There are definitely some things that I would change in it. Also, I did ask, the sky is falling. I know, Andy, right? But you know, somebody, or I had asked if you guys wanted me to make a video on what I would change about it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I'm going to make that video, and because I've done that before. I've literally just changed out pieces for different things. But I think the video will stand on its own merits. Just stand on, you know, I said enough inside of it, inside of that video, that people should understand the things that they need to change if they buy that kit. And, you know, getting back on first aid, you know, basically, you know, it's absolutely amazing that people don't understand the difference between a trauma kit and a boo-boo kit. A first aid kit is a boo-boo kit. I cut myself open. I do not need to be sutured. That's what a first aid kit is. I got a skin knee. I need to clean it. I need to disinfect it. I need to protect it. I need to bandage it. You know, they're really, really simple steps, and people somehow don't know that, or they take for granted that that's the way things go. And it's funny when I watch people. I even watched my girlfriend the other day. She cut herself doing something. I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't a big cut. It was just this little cut. And I have the first aid kit set up so that, one, she didn't know what the first aid kit was. I have this awesome first aid kit that I built that's actually set up like when you unzip the top of it, it's like this is all for topical use. Everything from antiseptics to wound care to band-aids to bandages. You know, got some Neosporin in there, got the thermostat or the thermometer of your feels. You know what I'm saying? All this external stuff that's not really going to make us die or feel bad, you know, right there, boom. You know, it's like people don't understand that, by the way, before you decide to try and open the Neosporin, maybe you should actually take the bandage out of the package and prepare the bandage with its safety strips to use. That way, all you have to do is go bloop, bloop, and you're done. Nobody practices these skills. And they really, really should actually, at the minimalist level, set up their first aid kit so that if something does happen on like a boo-boo, that you'll be doing that instead of fighting with all these different little things that are inside your kit, that you know what you need to do, you know the right way to do it, but for some reason it's just not happening. And I think that's something that's kind of important. I think it's something that's kind of important. Okay, so let's go and move on to trapping and fishing. Where are we at here? Making traps, constructing various traps and snares to catch small game. Yes, you should. I mean, if you know how to construct a snare, it's the easiest one to make. Construct a snare. Do me a favor, put a 1 in the comment. If you do not know how to construct a snare, put a 2 in the comment. I'll wait. While I'm waiting for that, let's see here. I want a couple of grails, but money is tight right now. It's high on the list. I got you, Tuck. I got you. Maybe I can get you a code. Maybe I can contact them and get a code for this. They've always got sales going on. So, Tuck also says, we practice wound care on me. Well, that's not good. Here we go. So I've got a handful of peepers. So Laser's being honest, saying, hey, I don't know how to make a snare. Watch a YouTube video, my friend. It's freaking easy. Find where the animals are going on the trail. Make a loop that closes. Tie it off to something. It's not hard. It's not hard. Yes, there are more advanced ways of doing it, but those are the basics of a snare, you know? And don't be typing 1 now because I told you how to do it. Ian says 1.5. Gotcha. Rose says possibly carry a nail brush as well to scrub out the wound. May hurt, but it's to remove debris and prevent infections and tweezers to pull debris as well. Yes, absolutely true. And it's funny too, because if you go to the ER, when I cut my hand open on a machine gun, and because I was being stupid, and I literally cut it open. Actually, it's this one right. It's this one right here. I cut like right here, sliced it right open, and I went to the ER, and the bleeding had already stopped. We had already cleaned it out reasonably well, but I was in the field, so the ER was full of people that were like dead or dying. It was a really weird night, and and I was like, "Listen, man, I'm just sitting here in the corner." And this is a military hospital, so it's a little different back then. Uh, it's like, what can I do to move this along? And they literally gave me a bucket. They gave me iodine, and they gave me this sanitized scrubbing pad, and they said, put that in the wound, scrub it. And so I literally had to be like, scrubbing the inside of my body, and cleaning it, washing it. And they were like, okay, good. And then they stitched me. Then when they were done trying to save everybody's life, who was dying that day from car accidents, they sutured me up and said, "Hey, good job. Get out of here." It's different days, but yeah, sometimes you do need to have some kind of scrubbing implement to be able to clean out a wound, especially not necessarily if it's deep, but if it was like a wound that could go bad. If you don't really get, you don't want to get it infected. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely have to scrub it out at sometimes. And we take that for granted. I mean, what's the first thing some people do when they cut their finger? They stick their damn finger in their mouth. There's more bacteria in there than freaking dogs' mouths, and they lick their butts. It's crazy. It's crazy. What do we got here? Tuck says, I have a small game snare kit. Couple snares are not expensive. My fishing kit is substantial and centers on 1, catching bait fish, and 2, bush hook fishing. I got you. Ian says, I know in theory, but I've never practiced. Ian, I wonder, is there any instructions in that survival kit that I sent you? It's got snare wire inside of it, so I'm kind of curious. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over to signaling for help. Believe it or not, here in the modern age, just because an emergency, just because you have a kit to help you survive an SHTF does not mean that you won't need help at some point. And signaling to them is actually pretty helpful. So signal fires, building and maintaining signal fires that produce visible smoke. Like, what do I need to put on this? Sometimes it's green. Sometimes it's a specific plant that you can do. You can make smoke during the daylight and light at night. Signal mirrors, using mirrors to reflect sunlight and signal aircraft or distant rescuers. Yes, I think everybody should have a signal mirror, an appropriate one that they can actually look through. By the way, that's a real signal mirror. Ground signals, creating large visible ground signals, like using rocks, logs, or other materials. We've all seen it in the movie. Believe it or not, it actually works. But remember that contrast is key. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, we got some stuff in the chat over here. Why is my chat doing really weird stuff? Oh, creative redundancy. I thought that was like some really like text screw up. Look at what creative redundancy put in the chat. I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. Good to see you. Metal signal mirror. Yep, those work just fine. Like I said, make sure you can look through them. The old shaving mirror is not the same as a true signaling mirror. All right, let's see here. Number 9, tool making and improvisation. No, we're not talking about being on the stage. Creating tools from natural materials, crafting tools and weapons from stone, bone, and wood. Improvising with available resources, using everyday items in new ways to solve survival problems. Maintaining and repairing gear, techniques for keeping tools and equipment in working order. So on the creating tools thing, guys, I can't say I'm the master of it, but you know what? The femur bone from a large animal will make a great pummeling device. and as well as hammer for beating or smashing food. I mean, ugh, big. We've all seen the movies. It does work. Improvising, this is right up there with creating shivs by trimming your toothbrush down. We've all seen that in the movies. Maintaining and repairing gear. This is one thing a lot of people don't talk about. I actually keep, and matter of fact, I don't think I've ever showed it to anybody. You should have canvas repair needles because you can repair these. These needles, they're larger and they're designed to penetrate through thicker fabric. It's basically a sewing kit. You have to build it yourself because they normally sell the needles separate from the line. But it's nothing to create. I mean, what happens when you're bugging out and you've got one of those backpacks that's got like the what they call it a luggage entry zipper on it, where it's like you can lay it on its back and like zip it down and opens the whole thing. Well, you've overpacked it and poof, it explodes or the zipper dies. Now you've got to sew this thing up so that you have a pack. Well, you can't do that with a sewing kit. It'll break. You actually need to have like a canvas repair kit and sew this thing up. So things like that. And then, some of it's common sense. Like, when's the last time you sharpened your knives? Most people don't even sharpen their kitchen knives. That's like, why is this knife so dull? Let's go to Walmart. I think these are definitely, I think this definitely falls into the skill side of things. Let's see here. Where are we at here? You got SOS. Let's see, where are we at here? Big Prepper says you can catch small game with a Duke #1 coil spring trap, but educate yourself on them before using them. They can hurt. Yes, absolutely true. Absolutely true. Bradley says a 12-year-old Boy Scout used signaling mirror at a plane, and it was Harrison Ford. It saved that kid's life. That's true. Yeah. What do we got here? My signal gear. Whoa, there. The chat moves a little fast there, which I cannot complain about. My signal gear, whistle, blue tarp, fire kit, and knowing about signal fire symbols. Yes. Let's see here. And creative redundancy is saying to put an awl. The awl is that pointy thing that you'll find on survival knives. Where are we at? Have leather and upholstery needs in gear and sinew. Where are we at here? I have a canvas repair kit. I'm adding a speedy stitch to it. So go helps. Shoe goo helps. I may add a hank of strap and a couple of spare buckles. Leather typo. I got you, bro. Where are we at here? No instructions for snares, traps, but there is a fishing kit and snare wire. Nice. And what we got here? Tuck. Okay. Blaine has just showed up. Good to see you, Bray. Let's see here. West Virginia. The only time pollution is okay. I got to read this. The only time pollution is handy to find things to make items out of. I'm not sure what that means. Andy says it's not difficult to keep a good edge on a knife. Come on, man. You would be surprised. You would be so surprised about the people that don't sharpen their knives. That don't even have a stone, that don't have like a legitimate stone, I was using, you can buy those little $1 Walmart stones, but those things, you're just going to end up getting cut by using those things. So, all right. So, number 10, mental and emotional resilience. And this is the biggest skill to have. All these other ones, these are all like skills. These are skills that are inside of you that you must have in a survival situation. Otherwise, you will fail. All the gear that you have, all the knowledge or talent that you have is completely useless without mental and emotional resilience. Now, where are we at? Here we go. Stress management techniques for staying calm and focused in high pressure situations are imperative. Survival psychology, understanding the psychological challenges of survival situations and how to cope with them. Positive mindset. Big time. Biggest one, guys. Maintaining hope. if you have ever watched the show Alone, I that is a hard show for me to watch because it's watching people you watch people to find their breaking points to where they can't, and then you can see where they start to rationalize their decision to quit, and to start, making this more about someone else than them. And there's certain signs that people go through when they're going to quit. As a Marine, I watched a lot of young Marines that came out of boot camp that were not prepared for the Fleet Marine Force in the infantry, because that was just the basics. That was just getting you to where you could be assimilated into the infantry. And it was not a pretty thing to watch these young men come in so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and get crushed so quickly because they thought that they were there. They thought that they made the grade. And when they find out that they really didn't know anything, watching them try to quit, and then watching the other Marines around them stand them back up and tell them, no, you can do it, and then it gives them hope. And in a survival situation, maintaining hope is the number one priority. Never give up hope. And motivation, you can use affirmations or goal setting or mental exercises, but you never give up hope. So if anything, that should be, that's what I probably should have put inside the poll, which is currently, what is the most important aspect of mental and emotional resilience in prepping? 48% is the winner today at stress management techniques, 24% at positive mindset, and both set and achieve survival goals and survival psychology are at 14%. Guys, if you have not hit that thumbs up button right now, do me a favor and hit that. On the YouTube side, it says, my YouTube side says I've only got 1 thumbs up on YouTube. Do me a favor, guys. Let me know if that's wrong. I appreciate it, man. Rose says, breathe, breathe, breathe. Yes, continue to breathe no matter what happens. Let's see here. Creative Redundancy says, you can do it. What it says, Tuck says, I'm multi-fuel. When I run low on hope, I switch to anger. I love it. I love it. Yeah. I tell people all the time, you're not going to hurt my feeling. Whatever it is, just don't hurt my feeling, because I only have one left, and that is anger. Let's see here. What do we got here? So it looks like I got 17 thumbs up. Cool. Appreciate it, guys. I think it's just because I opened that window so late. And, there are, believe it or not, guys, there are so many idiosyncrasies to setting up these channels and making them work for people, and then making them work on my side. And all the things that I try to make magically happen on your screen are very, very much work. They're very much work. Okay. So I guess the last thing I want to talk about is, these expanded points, they delve deeper into essential survival skills, providing a comprehensive overview of what preppers need to know and practice to stay prepared for various situations. All right, now here's what I want to talk to you guys about. If you guys didn't know this, I actually do have a membership side on the YouTubes. Okay, that's that little join button that's down there someplace. Do me a favor, guys, hit that button. Watch that video. And if you want to join, you want to join. But I will tell you that I do content for those guys every single day. Not joking. So with that said, do me a favor, as you guys are going out the door, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to support the channel, there are links below. And until the next time, stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Hit the join button. Hit the join button. Hit the join button. It's like $1.99. Later, guys.